Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to 20 Minute Tea. As you can see, the lights are a little bit weird right now because we are shooting outside. It's going to be raining and we don't have enough light, so I just punch around the lights a bit and yeah, we have lighting again. 20 Minute Tea, we talk about big rain stuff over 20 minutes under the topics of adulting, which is transitioning from teenhood to adulthood, and designing, which is talking about passion and design. The way we do it over here is we have an introduction to the character, which is today is my dad. Hi, Papa.
Hello.
And then after that we talk about like the interesting topic of the day, and after that we just get into interesting discussion going all over the place and then trying to come to an interesting synthesis at the end. What do you think we talk about today, Pa?
Well, I think I got to think about myself as a man.
Yeah.
And the experience I've gone through from a boy to a man,
Right.
and the opportunity I think to be a leader.
Right.
So and I have actually taught many people about leadership as a teacher.
Right.
So possibly in this area of leadership,
Right.
and leadership model kind of things.
I think this is a very, very interesting episode for you guys. My dad, he used to be a HOD at Ahmad Ibrahim School, and then after that he also was a discipline master. He has gone through many phases of growing as a leader, and he has gotten a lot of skill in terms of this social kind of thing. And that's kind of why that I also have this kind of passion in understanding people. I think a big part of being a leader is about understanding people and how they work and how to really not manipulate, but kind of really how to harness and tap into people's strengths and to help and to combat and to encourage people's weaknesses to grow and to be stuff like that. It's not, this episode is not just for leaders, but it is generally in general how to be just a better person. Outside of there, you have Megan, who is the youngest of all of us, and she's crying and ruining our intro, but oh well else. I guess the way I would summarize today's conversation is that in terms of leadership, a quick summary would be about like caring for people at different scales. Be it from the close, small scale of like really interacting with somebody one-on-one, understanding their feelings, to also on a greater scale of multiple people, to also redirect and to really nurture and get people to think together. A key concept that we talk about today is facilitative thinking. Facilitative leadership, which is in short is just like about getting people to talk together, put their sticks together, and to really pull together, to engage and to activate the strengths in each part of the group and to get people to pull together. So it's an interesting episode about leadership and about just generally being a better person. This is the last episode of 20 Minute Tea for season 2. 8 episodes. Wow. It was covering the entire CV, and this is the last time you will see this beard on the show.
Yay!
Yeah. So I'll be shaving tomorrow, and by the time you see this, it'll be like, I don't know, a few weeks already.
Serious?
But yeah,
Tomorrow?
yeah. Maybe I'll keep stubble or whatever. But yeah. Here's the episode. Thank you guys so much for joining, and yeah, here's the episode. Okay, so today we have on my father, my papa. He is how old are you?
49. In a few months' time, will be half a century old. In about 6 months' time, yes. 6 months' time, I will.
Oh yeah, now it's June.
Half a century, yes.
Half a century years old. And for me, I am 2 decades old, so I'm 20 and he's gonna be 50, and that'll be like 30 years difference. Okay, so maybe Papa, how about you introduce yourself a little bit more? How are we related, and like what are we like together and stuff like that?
How I related? You're my firstborn son. I got married at 28. About 29, we had you. We see you grow up. And how chubby you were. how a lot of Michelin tire we call him, yeah. And how he had grown up to be now a young man, trying to look older than me. I used to have that too.
Somebody thought I was 25.
Yeah. Hopefully you cut it soon. Yes.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. So
Tomorrow.
yes, So I made okay. I have been a teacher so far all my life, and I have been doing. She's on
Megan.
the first and the don't know what's the last. Okay. Number 7.
Your mama.
So I okay, the influence then was already having God as my guide,
Right.
you know, in the things that I do. So I thought, after asking myself this question, because I was busy with as I asked myself, whether do I want to do that for the rest of my life? So all my life, okay, up to 20 something, actually, from that shock to that point in time of asking myself, do I want to be an engineer the rest of my life? You know, so I still like engineering, but I didn't. Thereafter I came back with a clean sheet.
Right.
So at that point in time, I was already so-called. Was I engaged? No, maybe I was courting your mama. Okay, mama. Okay, so she just said. So I asked her this. So I don't know whether I want to be an engineer because I studied engineering for 3 years. So when I go to the final year, so blank page. So she throw this. She throw this thing to me. Hey, how about be a teacher? Wow, a new suggestion.
I was just talking to Mama about the age gap between you and her. It's like quite big, 4 years.
Huh? Big man? 4.
No, but it's okay. Think about it. It's like she said when she was Sec 1, you were in JC 1. So it's just really disgusting. It's like you're dating a xiaomei mei.
Yeah, but right now you fast forward. Yeah, now as an adult, 4 years is no different unless you talk about you put it right now.
Well, at least you didn't meet her in that when she was that young.
Okay.
You have got a different impression of her.
Yeah. So we talk about it.
Okay,
also.
which is interesting that because then after that, in a sense, it's quite interesting that she also influenced how you also like decided to become a teacher.
Yes, she just make this suggestion. So it kind of let me think about it. So why is it that I mentioned about church and youth work? So at that point in time, I was already like a mentor and interested in youth work and influencing,
Guiding and nurturing.
Yes. So I thought maybe I give it a try.
Right.
So I know, lo and behold, I pray about it and God gave me Then she actually said, hey, how about teaching D&T? Hey, because D&T requires engineering degree. To be a D&T teacher, we require engineering degree. So, well, it just fit nicely. So as a result, I became a teacher and I taught in a secondary school for. Can you say which school?
I mean, you.
Yeah, Ahmad Ibrahim Secondary School. Yeah, my alma mater. So that actually has an impact on me staying in the same school.
Right.
Yeah. So I was teaching D&T, and I was actually a discipline master.
Right.
And then become also HOD for character development. All these things that are I'm passionate about.
It's very, very. You also have a very, very acute passion in things social. I think that's something that also has also transferred to also like us as your kids. One thing I see that there's a similarity between us as or that you have also passed down to me is that element of the leadership. Another one is also about the passion to really want to share knowledge and to educate other people, and that's kind of why we also have this podcasting. So it's also kind of to like really it's something that you have passed down to us. At least to me also is to want to also share things that I've learned to also really better the people around us, and I think that's very, very interesting.
But interestingly, I didn't.
You didn't.
When your age, I didn't kind of think that I'm that talkative. You know what I mean? I will hear people talk, but I don't think I'm myself talkative. But right now, people say I'm quite talkative. I don't know. After quarter of a century, you know, discovering and I through it, I think I sociable and people feel comfortable being around me.
Okay, so at this point of time, I think we can also transition into the point of conversation that you want to talk about. And today we're going to talk a little bit more about leadership. As you heard in the introduction, the long introduction that you gave us, you were talking about how you are a discipline master and somebody who is also very very interested in all things social. As a teacher, you have also witnessed a lot of youth growing up, and besides as in this transitionary period, you know how you have also witnessed, or you also have coached and also nurtured individuals who have been growing up in their teen years, and also you also have applied those lessons toward us as your children. things that you learn from school, also you also apply to the home environment, and that has also really built us to be the people who we are currently, and still for the things for the younger ones also. What are some of the things you came up with a list of things that you want to talk about? Maybe you could share a little bit of us as you begin to open and develop the whole concept of leadership. I think it's very interesting as a point of conversation, being somebody a discipline master, and somebody who is also very interested in also nurturing other people. So yeah, what do you have to share with us today?
Yeah, I guess it starts from the point where I had to date it back to how I became given the leaders.
Right.
I can't remember the saying, but the thing is about greatness. Some people some people will go and strive for greatness, but some people will be actually the greatness is transcendent.
Right.
So for me, I believe that as a Christian, all things are under the control and the will of God,
right?
And so I myself, just being myself, back at the point in time, I understand about leadership is that it was secondary one, and someone in class was chosen, someone maybe more vocal was chosen. Then I was just being myself. I can't remember why. So in the mid-year, that guy was kind of kicked out, disposed out from a prefectorial role. And then instead I got chosen. I didn't know how I got chosen, but that actually started my leadership journey, and it's very interesting. And because of that, I think the teacher probably see something in me. I don't know. I was just being natural, and probably that was where they see the potential. And that was given to me. And from that point onwards, I think I started to be interested about what's leadership. So next point about leadership, and when Sec 3, I continue on to be prefect. Then I was given an opportunity to go for a leadership camp. And in the leadership camp, all the jargon, all the keywords. One word I remember about leadership was, that I still remember, is initiative. A leader must be show initiative. Basically, you see the need, you see a need, meet the need, and person who do without having to be told. That is actually the thing that I remembered, and it's still in me, and I use it to share with other younger students and young adults also. Then moving on, and because of that, I was interested, and that on we just grow and given more roles, and because given more roles, we develop ourselves to know how to deal with people, those juniors, and it was interesting. And not that I wanted limelight, but it's just that I grow to be more confident, proactive, and get things done, get things organized. So, and moving up in JC, I was also the loudest one, voice now. So I was I didn't join the student council, but then they asked me, hey, I'm like, Dan, can you help us to be to cheerleader? Wow! So I organized the whole school coming together, singing the school cheer, in AJC. So I don't know whether in any one of you, So it was something that, wow, whole school under my command. So that was actually my first time where, it's a whole school watching me. So it was interesting. Then, because of this experience, I was
Were you cheerleading with the pom-poms?
No, it's not pom-pom. Just some war cry lah. But it was interesting. But seeing the whole lot of people
to be able under your manipulation.
No. Okay, but coming because if a leader, you want people to do together with you, and therefore that is something that that is actually I can get people to do together, not manipulate, but they themselves having do together. We see the synergy, we see the cooperation. They also enjoy it. They also get hype up. So thereafter, I'm also like very loud now.
So what are some things that through those developing years and through this younger period of yourself that you kind of has been retained all the way until now?
Of course, everybody. First thing is that the thing that loud lah. Second thing is that I learned to also be work with people. I told you I didn't think
work with people.
Work with people is like knowing how to talk to people. I don't think I'm not a very assertive person, but you didn't know that. discipline master, not assertive.
Right.
But as a teacher, I learned the trick of the trade. How to put on. I understand, when you put on certain masks and
Maybe
be
it's
in
not
that
a
role.
mask, maybe it's a different hat.
Okay, yes, hat. Okay, a discipline master hat. In fact, I was also a counselor.
Right.
A counselor hat. A D&T teacher and that kind of hat. But
Different roles that you play and different personas.
and in order to get the whoever you're teaching to cooperate with you so that they can learn, my tone and my approach has to be different.
Right.
If I'm in the role of discipline master, I cannot be sayang all that. Okay, I have to be strict.
Right.
I have even raised my voice. Ex-students also said, "Wow, you're very loud," and your caning was also very and that's most accurate.
Tell us a bit more about like what it was like to cane, or like how did you learn to cane? It's judicially
Yes. Okay.
disposed of.
Okay.
Let's move on. Let's move on to like some more concrete steps. Okay, so we've been talking a lot about like how your fatherhood, or like how you've grown up, and the certain examples and the certain events that happened to you that really shaped you to be who you are. It seems to be like a huge part of it is also is based upon the Bible in a religious context that really has also influenced your methodology into how you take care and how you nurture and how you also present yourself as a man of character and of authority. What are some other maybe concrete advice would you give? Maybe allow me to also like share also my part, or like my kind of interaction with you in terms of the context of leadership. As you guys know, also like for me, I also have some responsibility in terms of like when I went to school. I was a vice president and stuff like that in the school club. So sometimes there'll be some kind of issues and points of contention with other individuals, and I would just get a little bit frustrated and stuff like that. But somebody who I also would go to also resolve or to really understand the complexities and how to also move forward. A lot of times we encounter problems and we just kind of give up, and I just want to like just move on and stuff like that, but without any concrete kind of steps to move forward. But those the advice that I went to you for and you gave me were also very, very helpful in moving forward and bettering the process and rebuilding the spaces, the social spaces. What are some kind of tips that you also would give to other individuals who are also trying to become better leaders, or maybe not just better leaders but better people in general? Because in every sense of the word, a leader is somebody who is somebody who sets an example, and most of the times we in one person to another, or in any kind of situation, in a unique situations, we are some sort of like leaders in our own way to different kinds of people, and we might not even know it, but we also might be leaders to people that we don't even know to who we are leaders to. What are some kind of leadership tips, or maybe how do you become a better person?
Well, I would say that I have benefited being a school teacher in public school,
Right.
And I have good principals who have
Modeled.
have modeled. But one of it, if you model. Some people say don't model, all these cliche. But I think model give us handle,
Right.
and always help us to remind ourselves.
Right.
Of course, Stephen Covey was some of those beginning with the end in mind. All those kind of things does help. Yeah, so we can use this one. Okay, but I think the other one was which I still which I encourage other student leaders to do is the KP model, which is the Kushner and Posner model, which the school leader, the principal, will introduce that, and it's called a MICEE, MICE. Okay, M stand for modeling the way, model the way. Okay, as a leader, like what you say, is example, role model. Okay, you want to influence someone else to follow you.
Right.
Okay, you want to influence them to your side, influence them so that you can actually, in a sense, leaders should be having a aim to multiply ourselves,
Right.
so that everyone can also become leader. Then you can go and influence other people.
Right.
So model the way is important. I think model the way is also talk about, are you a person who is righteous, and it is someone that we can follow the example and pattern.
Right.
So modeling the way is important. Talking about that integrity. I stand for inspire, shared vision. Okay, it's not sequential. Okay, but just take note. I is actually the inspire, shared vision. As a leader, how do we inspire the team? How do we set a direction?
Right.
Vision is having an end in mind. You know what you want to do. Aspirationally, you want to lead them to that vision. So how do you then inspire them? Through your encouragement, through setting direction.
Right.
Through setting putting the
Plan together.
Putting
Getting
people
people
together.
together.
Yeah. So
Right.
inspiring
Right.
to know how to inspire. So there are people who can be inspirational in talking.
Right.
Some other leaders are just worker and know how to plan, but may not have all that flair of speech.
Right.
I would say that
Maybe it's a more
communication
example
Yeah.
kind of inspiration.
Yeah, it's
By
still
seeing
important.
This person and their success.
Yeah,
Like,
it's still important to be able to say someone who cannot starter and cannot talk. Okay,
Right.
we need to learn how to say. C is actually challenging the process. Challenging the process. Okay, in my first thought of what you must be assertive and always challenge people.
To
No.
redesign.
Yes, right. Yeah, is to redesign, looking for better way. Okay, asking, is this the best way? If there's problem, is there other way?
Interrogate the problem.
Yes. Yeah. So
Interrogate the scene and see is there any better way
yes,
to do it.
a leader must innovate. A leader must also evolve the whole thing so that everything becomes better. So
Right.
a leader is able to learn how to find new ways. So challenging the process is one thing. Okay, where do you find? Are you innovative to find new ways to solve problem to so that it can be better? Okay. So next is E, MICE, model the way, inspire, share vision, challenge process. Next E is empowering others to act. Empowering others to act is actually talking about as a leader being a coach.
Right.
Can you coach others? Because no man
I might know how to do everything. I might know how to do
you cannot.
everything.
Yeah, you experience that.
Right.
If you do not coach others to
You are
duplicate
your
yourself,
greatest weakness.
yeah, you are the weakest thing.
The
You
weakest.
cannot do everything.
Right.
You need to coach others. In fact, a good leader is someone who can coach another person
Replicate themselves
to replicate themselves, so that you can do great job.
together.
Yeah, and so
Change your
empowering.
mindset to me to we.
Yeah, so being able to now, let me show you.
Right.
Okay, and after that, okay, it's training.
Right.
Because if a leader can just do
How do
everything
you
yourself,
convince
you're not a
somebody
leader.
to be trained?
How to convince somebody to be trained? I don't know. That person must himself innately
Want to be,
wanting to be better.
right.
You cannot force.
So what do you
or horse to
see
drink
in somebody
water.
who is a possible candidate to be empowered?
Definitely, you will have probably seen the person in action, and you probably need to investigate whether outside of that scene of action, what kind of person it is.
Right.
I think we choose leader from these many aspects. Something we call it the 360.
Right.
You do not just look at the person at the scene because he can play on the act, but outside he's all rotten. Okay, you have to check around that. Okay, is that the best candidate? Because we probably can make mistake of choosing the wrong
Right. And waste your
leader.
time lah.
Yes,
Waste your
yeah. So is it willing to change? Okay, you probably can slowly see it after giving some tests. Yeah. Last E is actually encouraging heart. That's where that tactile, that
Kind of a push-pull kind of relationship.
yes is where you can't. It's very difficult to follow a leader who is just all work without rest, without
Right.
the people taking
Right.
care of. Okay,
It's
the
a
team.
holistic kind of leadership, because you're not just doing the work,
Yeah.
but also you're taking care of the
This thing
emotional
called
side.
Task oriented or people oriented.
Right.
You need to be both. You
Right.
have the challenging challenge to process is a task oriented skill. Okay, empower others is a task oriented,
People.
but no, it's also a task. But
Right.
encouraging the heart is where the people oriented. How do you balance both?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think it's a good handle, a good model for one who aspires to be leader to check him or herself whether to be a good leader, what are things I must look at.
How would you advise someone, or maybe how would you advise me if I feel for me, as a somebody who also tends to get a lot of tasks and responsibilities, I tend to be able to fulfill the task. I can tend to be somebody who can like really perform. But a big problem that for me I have is to encourage the heart. How would you advise somebody to like that?
Well, before touching on that, encouraging the heart is probably enable others, because you do very well alone.
Right.
Yeah, so you can do this task.
Right.
You can just this size of project.
Right.
One encouragement would be that you must learn how to harness other people's,
Right.
To
see
but
their potential.
they can, and then coach others and get people on board, influence other people, so that
Right.
this big project you don't handle, because you can just do this one big project, after you go fall flat.
Right.
Next one you go do one, you go fall flatter.
Right.
So in any task, people are important. And in fact, when you involve other people and coach others, they'll feel a sense of accomplishment. I want to work under this one, because he doesn't just get me to work, but he coached me how to do better. So enable others to act is important coaching skill.
I think a lot of the times it's also a lot to do with the people, whether they even want to do the project in the first place, and that inspiring the heart is very, very hard to do, I guess.
Yeah.
So sometimes in certain projects, people just get thrown together, and then after that, they don't really have that so-called stick with you.
Yeah. That is not an easy one, because
It's quite hard.
it could be that if you are you salary collector, okay,
Right.
like you just do, but it's an important thing how to get the team together. Sometimes what I do is that I right now no more teaching in the public school, but I'm teaching in Christian school.
Right.
So what I'll do is that actually I will try to encourage the heart of people, so that I know that I'll tell them, you want to do your job well.
Right.
Okay, you want to do your job also happily.
Right.
So when I see that, I will show that care for them. When I see that they are not well, okay, I will talk to them. Hey, are you okay? And just to find out. And when they tell me some of the problem, I also find ways to encourage them, to pray for them.
Right.
And if I'm able to help them solve the problem, when they're busy, I lend my hand, so that they know I'm concerned.
Right.
To do this,
Gain their trust.
to do this encouraging heart, I think we need to be caring. Okay,
Be available.
to be available, having the compassion for your worker. Okay, which you did share. You said when you help other people, that is where you'll win other people. That okay, this is not just a taskmaster. This person is also caring for it. And that when we share our concern, we ask them, and within our capacity, when we can lend our hand, we do it. Okay, coach it. After that, you go. So going around your co-worker, finding out how they are.
I think that's a really good philosophy to have as a leader, is to I think something I derived from something that you said before. So it's like the whole project is not it is done by the people, and without the people, you don't really have a engine to really get the thing done.
Yeah.
You can't just be serving like a big boss. Maybe you might not be the direct leader, but the leader above that leader. And if the people aren't passionate to really execute it, there is no kind of fuel to run on. So most of the time, the best projects are actually done by people who are really excited or really inspired to also create something interesting. And then from that, I feel like if the people are doing it together, I feel that is already a success. And then after that, the final output is something that is a celebration of the success of the people that have pulled together.
That's why I also was passionate to share with you the facilitative leadership.
Right.
Because many people just do, but I think to get a team together, we need to facilitate.
Right.
And solving a problem.
This is a very, very interesting one. Okay, pay attention to this part.
Yeah, because I also learned it from my ex-principal, ex-boss, and it is very, because it pulls the people together.
Right.
You're not just okay. You tell me what to do, I do.
Tell me.
But
Sorry.
yeah, so what it entails is the facilitation. It entails the elements of engaging your co-worker.
Right.
Their opinion.
Right.
Listening skills. You must be ready to listen. Okay, because if you just one way, okay, you do all the talking.
Right. And just
okay, you tell me what to do, I'll do. Okay, but a facilitator, you will get other people in their stake. They will put their stake, because when they share their idea, and you know that, and they know that you are listening, and intently, and not just
and reshaping
taking
it into everything else.
Yeah,
into
then
a big one.
and then from the listening, you elicit their part. So they put their stake in it. Once they contribute, but of course, after that, usually the problem is, okay, you talk a lot. Okay, you do that one. Okay, that's not the facility. But rather, you want to get everybody involved.
Right.
Okay, when there's problem that comes up, okay, you don't want to say, okay, solve the problem, solve this problem. Okay, but rather, let's solve this problem
together.
Okay. And the facility process is require us to know how to. Another key thing is to how to ask question. Okay, because if you give all the answer, don't need contribute it.
Right.
But if you ask question, now anyone have any suggestion, and learn how to give wait time. No suggestion. Okay, then we'll. Okay, but
open space for people to talk.
Give them some time to think.
Right.
But also another interesting is to name names. Hey, Isaac, what do you think about it? Right, and no questioning, giving wait time is very important, because if you just blare through and rush through, of course the time factor is also important.
I think
you need to take time.
For me, like when I ask questions, a lot of the times I already have a certain predicted answer already, which might be a problem, because like I'm trying to facilitate things also, right? And after that I say I don't know, I have a certain outcome already that I think, so I'm just trying to get people to, so this is why he wants to do it.
If they smell you out, then you're pulling a fast on them. They next time they're not going to fall into the trap. So we really need to allow people to brainstorm and don't put down ideas. Okay, brainstorming is the other thing. Okay, where you know you are open enough to take in the nonsense.
I learned this very interesting facility. I think we might have skipped a bit. Can we go back to like
the facilitating? The converge. Okay, so the part where what is it? Is the in order to get people, after they talk, right? You're getting them to be creative. You're getting them to be opening up ideas.
Right.
But you cannot open up. Then now so many ideas. How then do I choose? Then where the converging, asking important question, which is the best choice? How do you decide what's the best choice? What are the criteria to consider so that we can decide a choice? And then how do you converge? Because you cannot just continue open, no conclusion. A good leader who is a facilitator know how to get people to converge. And okay, this is the idea. Everyone agree?
I think sometimes some of the problems that one would face when they lead this in this kind of way is that when it becomes more like when you've gone too far out already, and after that, like it becomes very emotional, like, and then after that you have to tackle people's emotions.
Yes,
so
that was my idea. Why you killed it?
Right.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So
how
is your choice of words. When you say wrong thing, that was a stupid idea, I think we cannot continue with that. Okay, it's really being knowing how to being a good communicator. A good leader know how to say it such that you don't kill the energy of the person. Where after that, if you are able to, which I think you told me that if you did that, was that okay, this idea was good. Okay, we will adapt this part of it. Yeah, and let. But another way is also this, okay, to not to put everything into you to make the decision. The decision in the facility process is to let everyone make their choice. I think so that it's not the leader kill my project. It's everyone's.
For me, I feel like the biggest thing that I can do that facilitative kind of leadership. I can get people to think together and come up with something interesting. But I feel like a bigger problem for me is not just the facilitative part, but it's about the execution part. So you can think about everything. I can think about anything, and come up with an interesting concept, but I can't do it.
Yeah.
So can we move on to a more like
executionary?
Yeah, executionary kind of leadership style, because I think I've gotten that part done already. I learned that lesson already. So now how do I move on to the execution part, which is kind of a big problem for me, I feel.
I think during the execution is like I shared with you before if you are just someone who came up with a plan and let everybody else do the job, people feel detached from you, and you just know how to delegate. But I think you also tried it before where you were involved in other people's work. But there is a certain extent of being micromanaging.
Right.
Be careful with micromanaging. But not to say that you don't micromanage. You must be selective with
Which
who,
areas?
who because you may have these different tasks. Because certain people need the support. Oh, you leave me alone. I don't know how to do.
Right.
So you identify the right person to take care of all the others. Then you put them to okay.
Right.
Then after that you give clear instruction. But then if you know that certain people is weak and needed the support, okay, then you give more. People who needs that in space, give them the space. If not, why you micromanaging me? I sometimes I may feel that you are micromanaging me. Okay, don't worry, I can do it. So when the sub team leader know that the leader recognize and give them that space needed or give me the support needed, then they operate better.
Right.
Yeah, because
I think that's also something that also I think when you also become a follower a lot more.
Yeah.
And after that you also because sometimes the problem that certain leaders have is when they always put in the position of leadership, they never get to experience the other way.
That's right.
around.
Yes. It is important to know a good leader is also a good follower.
Right.
If you don't know how to follow, you do not know whether the follower is following you.
I think throughout my internship also maybe something that I also reflected upon is also I really don't like people who micromanage me. So in the sense that also has really taught me to maybe when I move into future projects, I don't want to be that person that micromanages and the choice of words. At the same time, I also see that I can also be very independent and I can function very well by myself.
So in a sense that certain things you can do it on your own.
Yeah.
Good. But yet again, you may think the bigger picture.
Yeah.
How many more big projects you can do. Okay. So
Right.
don't forget the enabling other act because the organization will grow if you coach them to be as good as you.
Right.
Yeah. So you look to identify people and to harness their potential.
I think a big part of this conversation is about really communicating. Yeah. A lot of these misunderstandings and these kinds of unnecessary problems in terms of social kind of areas is very time consuming a lot of the time when it comes to work, right? Wouldn't you say if we were all just robots to really be able to just follow tasks and just plan everything well, it would be very efficient, but it would not be effective.
Yeah.
So you can do the job very well, you can get everybody think very well together, you can get everybody execute everybody, but if you're not really enjoying it. So we've been talking about passion a lot for this whole period of this whole season. Talking about from Isaac, his passion in biology, passion in Mama, in homeschooling kids, teaching people. Abigail was finding passion and stuff like that. How do you coordinate or how do you orchestrate passionate people to work together? And along the premise of communication. I think this is an interesting point to close off on.
Yeah. Passion. Well, interestingly, let me introduce you the root meaning of passion.
Right.
You know what's passion in Latin, in Greek?
Pain.
Yeah. So we go through pain for the things we like, or go through pain because we want to please someone.
Right.
Yeah, who is of whom we want to please.
Right.
In this case here, as a Christian, I want to do things that will please God.
Right.
And the example I recently taught my students was in my school was about compassion. Com is together, suffering, learning how to suffer together.
Right.
So to your question, how to get people
suffer together.
Yeah. You okay to suffer together. In a project we are suffering together, but at the same time you have to go through energy, you need to go through time, you're going to go through lack of sleep. You're suffering together.
Right.
That is where people I have already been inspired that this is my stake in this. I put my stake in this.
So maybe sometimes also a bit of a part of the leader is also to show the other people that they're also suffering.
Well, yes, true. Okay, because if I don't think I will work for someone who just give instruction and just see how you do.
No, but
being
maybe he might be carrying his load also, but
yeah,
it's really very high up there. Like
yeah, true.
So
because
to show that they're also mortals.
True lah. Communicating that truly they are
together.
coming together, that they are, of course, leader would have many other projects. The follower need to know that yes, the leader do have other things to do. Okay, he cannot always be there. We need to also understand.
So back to your point.
The point of your question. Your question is how to
Communicate better.
How to get people to
communicate better, to
work
passionately together.
I think it definitely will be good when you have joined a team that it is of the same wavelength, same vision. Because it will be a very painful thing joining an organization which you don't subscribe to the values, don't subscribe to the vision, don't subscribe to the mission.
It's very hard.
So that talking about working together. So why is it that I'm passionate? I'm passionate in my previous organization, in my alma mater, because my passion was, this is my school. I actually grew up there. I studied there. I want to serve. Yeah, I was thinking. I want the name to be great. Okay, working in this current organization in a Christian school, my vision. In fact, I told my boss. They asked us to write up in our work review. Okay, does the school mission and vision are you concur? Do you concur? Is it aligned with yours?
Right.
So it's very important when we getting the right person. Getting things done is getting the right people on board first. Then you say later you delegate.
Right.
If not, you get the wrong person on the board. You have to go through all the difficulty of psychoing them. So the interview process is very important. You get the right person on board first.
Right.
So I believe I very aligned with the mission and vision of that.
I think in that sense, it's always like this is the whole point to networking with the right people, having good friends, and knowing the strengths of certain people to really like, this is the guy that I really want to work with for this project. And it's a kind of concept that I also apply when it comes to collaborations.
Yeah.
With really cool people that I really respect a lot. And I feel like that's also an important element to have in terms of leadership, is to respect your people and to really respect and value them for who they are. Sometimes I think a problem for some leaders is that other people don't share the same value of why they really why you or and I really value people, or like the morale so much. Other people might value like, why you care so much about the people so much? Just focus on the work lah. Don't think so much about that kind of thing.
The task between the difference between task oriented and people oriented people. Yeah,
so think,
people are different. Yeah, people are different. So
and I feel like in that sense also, when people are able to respect that different people have different values, it really enriches the whole team so much better, because different people have different things that they're pulling for, and in that sense it makes the whole experience more diverse and more well-rounded compared to if everybody was, let's all just have a good time.
Well, true. I was about to say that it will be ideal when you get all like-minded people together. That would be really great.
That will never ever happen.
It's an imperfect system in a perfect world, so there will be getting used to knowing how to
adapt. I think a big thing is adapt.
Yeah, knowing, and after knowing how to so-called adapt and getting people to compromise. Sometimes we need to compromise.
I think a big part of just being a good leader or follower is to be self-confident. When you're able to know your worth and know your place or know your strengths, that gives everybody the confidence to know how to turn and depend and to collaborate with you. And that, I feel like when people are able to really pull their own load in their own sense, they also can show and give value to the team when it comes to collaborative kinds of projects. And every kind of situation, be it like, I don't know, taking care of kids, taking care of like teams, or maybe leading society, leading church, or maybe leading at home, being a father, being a mother. Every single mindset, I think anybody and everybody benefits from the whole concept when they know their worth, know their contribution, and they actually pull their load together with everybody else. And it's a collaboration kind of mature kind of mindset. That when we bring this kind of mindset to the team, I feel like that's when the whole experience, the whole social experience becomes more enjoyable. And because we can't be set in this mindset that working together with other people. People always have this very negative vibe towards working with other people. I have to work with people. and their whole premise already is already set wrong.
I guess like I say, like just now, we will never come to a perfect system.
Right.
Thank God if you have good people on board, but I think we need to see that we need to see the worth of everyone.
Right.
Maybe they're not so skilled,
Right.
not so competent.
Right. But everybody has something to contribute.
Yes, because
Right.
if you want them to, they are already on the team. You need to make sure that they can carry that load. But you also want to, as a good leader, you want to, help them to level up.
Right.
I think they may have certain certain area to improve.
Right. Everybody has.
You want to level those people up in the area that they are not so strong in. Then in the future, because of your coaching, back to the thing MICE, if you see that the person is weak and they are willing to learn, then you be the good coach. So they in the next project they are actually already better.
I think the way that I will conclude this podcast is it's about when you are a leader, there are many skills that you have, scales of care that you have to give to a team, be on a direct one-on-one kind of care and attention, to a large attention to where's the big direction where we're going to. And then when you're able to also switch between the modes, put on the different hats, like you said, you're able to holistically direct the team and pull the team together or lead the team to a certain better end destination.
Okay. Yep.
So so on the different scales, when you're able to adapt, pull on the different hats, then that's when you really can create a better experience for everybody. How would you conclude today's topic, conversation?
Well, I think I was invited to share, and I was thinking, what am I good at? What would I want to benefit the audience of this podcast?
Right.
It is really something that I've experienced as a man, as a father, as a leader, the experience and opportunity as a leader. So I came forth to want to, for the audience, to influence them.
Right.
Because that is the thing of a leader, is to be able to influence you to be what you can be.
Right.
So
the best version of you.
Yeah. Well, we will not always be the best because
But
we
aspire,
to be better.
right?
Yeah, to be a better person. Yeah. So and then after being better, to you later on go and influence other people also in the same way.
Like a domino effect.
A
positive chain of growth.
So if I have been those things that I share have been beneficial for you, then now go. Try to be that, and then share with other people.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you guys so much for listening to today's podcast. This is actually the last of season 2.
Oh, I'm privileged.
The finale.
Finale.
Yeah. I think. Okay, so I guess in point of the finale of of season 2, I think it was a really interesting journey. From talking from passion with Isaac, about his passion in biology, Abigail struggling to find passion, but also building on herself and always still working on herself and attitude. To my mom talking about being a homeschooling mom, self-directed learning, how do you apply those kinds of things. That was actually a very good episode to really explain the first 3 episodes of me, Abigail, and Isaac. Then after that, the fourth one was Ethan. Also, the fourth one was Ethan. Also, we talked about also trying to find direction in life. How do you make the best out and to really get active? And then with Benjamin talking about the coronavirus and how do we play our part as citizens of our little community. And then after that with Florence, you don't really know Florence, but Florence is somebody creative that I brought on. A special episode to really do episode 7. We talk about design, a new format of design conversation. And after that, we finish off with today's how do you become a leader? What are some of the interesting points to take home? And I feel in this small interesting peek into my own life as Ashong and the people that have really influenced me to be who I am. These are some of the very interesting people that have really built me to be who I am. And yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. Let's do the outro right now. I hope that you guys really enjoyed it. Do share with me whether you liked it. Share, like, and subscribe on Berkeley Asher on YouTube, Instagram, and Spotify. Tune in not Tuesday anymore, but I guess from now on out, it'll just be whenever I want or whenever I feel like it. Whenever I can make it. For the last time for season 2, Full Hearts, Big Brains, and Warm Cuddles. Warm Cuddles. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to season 2 and supporting this whole little thingy. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for supporting the little funny things that I make. Hope that you guys learned something and hope that you can apply into your life and really whatever lah. Just I hope you like it. Yeah. Bye. Just say bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.